my YouTube fellas and gals. So we are back to our World War II letters. I will wait for some people to come in. Let me get set up here. Hey, John. How are you this evening? Are you ready for Christmas? I got some last minute shopping to do. We got a snowstorm coming in on Friday, but I'm not sure what we're going to get yet. Or on Christmas. I can't wait. We have a white Christmas coming. Sometimes they say we're going to get bad snow though, but it always seems like it's all around us. Hey, Kyle. Sometimes it goes above and below us and we don't get anything, and then sometimes we get hit. I think the last deepest snowstorm we had here was in 2006. It was up to my waistline. Or not too, no, maybe it was later than that. No, it was 2006, I think, was our last deepest. Ooh, our snow starts at 5 a.m. on Friday, according to my weather app, but you never know. So we are on the third bundle. I'm so excited, guys. We got one more left. We got that bundle and we get this bundle. Now, what I did with this one is I opened it up and then I went backwards so that maybe it'll be in the right order, because I think what they've been is she must have saved them by the stacks and then tied them, or whoever got the locker might have opened them. I don't know, but I believe these are in order. Hey, Metro. How are you and your sweetheart doing? Are you ready for Christmas? Yes, it's been a good evening. We have John Wright, we have Yankee Kyle, and we have Metro Sonic in the house. Woohoo! Don't have a horn I can blow, and I don't want to blow your ears drum, so. So did you get your sweetheart something really cute for Christmas, Metro? I bet you did. I remember those sweetheart days when you get to buy something special. I got a gift that came in the mail today. It was supposed to be late, but they actually delivered it early, so I'm pretty excited about it. Okay, so let's get into the goodies. There's even a blue ribbon on these. I'm so excited. So we have the next pile of letters. World War II. If you are new to my channel and happen to peek in, these are from Elsie and William. These came from a locker. And I happened to be at the auction. I'm so excited because last year, every Wednesday, I did a pile of their letters. And this year, every Wednesday, which we will be finishing up Elsie and William. But I'm going to have to go back through because I forgot to turn them into a playlist. But I think a playlist would be really cute for these. So these start, William was in the Navy. These start March 12th, 1945 is what is on the post code, the postmark, and they end March 31st, 1945. So he wrote a lot. And I really, really cherish these letters because they are from the male perspective, which is very interesting. So we will start with letter 1. Now, if I mess up on words, it's because sometimes he's got pretty decent writing, but it sometimes I can't read his words, but I try. So this started on a Thursday, March 1st. It says, Dearest Honey, received two letters today dated the 20th and 22nd. Don't worry about me being too old when I get home to increase the Pierce population. See, I've always wondered if they had kids, and he just said he wanted to have kids. There you go. So Bob had a birthday dinner. What a guy. See, I love the way they talk back then too. Is all I can say. Thank goodness there's not many like him. I'm glad you didn't spend any more money on him than you did. He'll probably use the tea and handkerchiefs for the rest of his life, so he won't have to spend any of that precious money he hoards. You better keep away from that replacement of Max. I envy him getting a fat assignment, a fab. Sorry. He abbreviates sometimes too, and it's like, what? It looks like fat, but it's fab short. Oh, well, he's probably spent his time out here. Some more power to him. If he's not married, I'll lay money he is before he leaves NAD. I bought a pair of sunglasses while I was in Honolulu. Ooh, so he went to Hawaii. So I don't need any, hun. Thanks just the same. Ultima, let's see. Alta must sure be a big shot with all that money. What is she doing with it? I know the old man don't get any of it, so I suppose she's salting it away. I don't know. I take it as another word for stashing or spending, maybe. Well, she will need it someday. Or maybe it is saving. Is it saving? I don't know. It looks like the word salting, but whatever. It's another word for saving. Hun, I'm ashamed of you sending Jean's letters to Dawn and Dawn's to Jean. That was a good one. What were you thinking of, hun? Well, hun, guess I'll close for now. I think Gertrude should have gotten my letter by now, so maybe she won't be so mad. I'll try and do better. But it just seems like every minute of my time it takes up and the part is set aside for you, nobody can have. Good night, sweetheart. Love you, Bill. He always signs his name at the bottom, too. I just wish I knew more. Hey, Sassy Sandy, she made it. I thought she was over there getting well. Hey, Mark. I was just talking about this guy in World War II being in Honolulu. How are you doing? It's my Sassy Sandy. I love these letters. Anything to do with the military is just so cool. And letter number 2. Look at these stamps. They're like stuck. And then this one's got a little plane on it. So here's letter 2. Maybe we'll get lucky and a picture will pop out. I keep hoping. This was March 3rd, 1945 on a Saturday. Dearest honey, how does that song go? No letters today, dear. Probably Tuesday or Wednesday. I shouldn't kick, though, hun. I need a package from you. It was the one with the pineapple juice, Reader's Digest, as well as homemade candy, and the sheet showing Sakura Park. The pictures made me homesick for a ride there. I always did like that park. Sequoia Park. I don't know. It's got to be in California. The candy was really good, hun. The best yet. You can make candy and we'll sell it in our store as a sideline. How about it? We have tomorrow off to get to sleep in an extra hour. Reed and I are going out to get that shark tomorrow. Oh, yeah, he's been spearfishing in previous letters. He's probably in Tokyo by now, but we've had our spears lengthened so we can shock them with more speed, or shook them. I don't know. Shoot. We can shoot them with more speed. And Mrs. Shark had it better get in our way. We're like a couple kids going on a Sunday swim. Reed is the same age as Jimmy, too. But we really look forward to our swim and spearfishing. It's something to do. Get exercise and a little recreation. I also received a card from that photo place in Hollywood, and they said that my picture I ordered were sent. No, you should have received them by now. I hope so anyway. If you haven't, write me and tell me so I'll drop a line to these people and give them the word. Today I got 2 cabinets built for the office. So tomorrow morning I'm going in to straighten out all my forms, etc. I've waited so long for those cabinets that I kept piling in the one cabinet until it's almost ready to bust. I also started to pile stuff on top, and it was looking so bad that the captain said, get those cabinets built. It's sure going to make things easier. Well, darling, we'll close for now. Nothing else to say except I miss you an awful lot. Good night, sweet. I love you, Bill. I just wish I knew more about this couple. Like, did they have kids and all that good stuff? But I knew I had letters when they started dating to when they got married. We're getting to the last nitty gritty. But I just love these letters and sharing them with you all. Dearest darling, I'll start by apologizing for not writing last night. I had my big swim yesterday and didn't get out until it was time to eat. After eating, I thought I would go up and see the stage show, some Bee orchestra, and then come back to write and not see the picture. But the picture was So Proudly We Hail, and it was supposed to be so good that I stayed. It was good and long, and by the time I finished seeing it, the lights were out. So I didn't get to write. Am I forgiven, hun? Question. We had quite a swim yesterday. I hit a boat. Oh my gosh. I hit about 8 fish. And when we started back, Reed hollered, Pierce. When I looked, I saw an octopus swimming away from us. I hollered, let's get him. So off we went on the chase. Oh, this sounds fun. The octopus hid in one of the coral rocks, and Reed finally found him and sunk his spear home. That old octopus busted the spear right in too and shot a bunch of ink out. Ew. I stood by with my spear ready while Reed would pull the broken piece out and stick him again. Each time the octopus would shoot out a bunch of ink. Finally, he was so full of holes, he gave up and we brought him in. It's supposed to be good eating. So we skinned a couple legs and had them fried. Don't get sick, people. The cooks didn't cook it right. So it was so tough to eat. Anyway, we had a good time. I just got back from my shorthand class. Oh my gosh, I really got to give that guy a medal just for shorthand. I hated that class. It's just long enough to review what you were supposed to have learned during the week. I'm still ahead of the class, but so are a number of others. I'll learn the damn stuff if it takes me the rest of the war. I really did good with the mail today. Received 4 from you dated the 24th, 25th, 26th, and 27th. Also one from Hazel, Lee, and Emma. Yes, Emma, my sister in LA. The finish time I heard from her for about a year. The first time I heard from her in about a year and a half. She sent was a nice birthday card, wrote a real nice letter, 4 pages long, and sent a clipping of her husband, Earl, and Bob, then son, and then her son. That was taken in Hawaii when Bob looked up his dad, who has duty there. Earl is a CM4C, CM something, CM4C, and Bob is a captain in the Marine Air Corps. How about that? They are both real swell fellows. I love that. Swell fellows. But I think that Earl and Emma are having trouble, and that's one reason he joined the COs. She mentioned she hadn't heard from him for a long time. Something seems awful as they have been together for about 25 years. She also said Lenny, her second son, has joined the Merchant Marines. That just left herself and Alan, her youngest boy, about 10 years old. Out of the 5 of them, they are really doing their part. Gosh, but that was a close shave with Susie. I'm glad it turned out okay. Don't ever talk like you did in that letter. If she would have died, so would you. I sure don't go for that kind of talk, hun. And you should know better anyways. I'm sure glad to hear Helen and now have finally gotten that car straightened out. If they didn't, I was afraid it would lead into trouble. So the captain is, sorry, the paper's kind of rippled, is going to retire. What did he think about? I'll bet he feels awful old. Have to admit, he's had quite a naval career. I'll bet he wished he had made Admiral. Glad you received those letters, hon. I thought they were pretty good. I'll tell you all about them after the war. Must close now, hun, as the lights are going out. Miss you awful lot, hun. Good night, sweet. I love you, Bill. This is so sweet. I love these letters. Love, love, love them. I'm going to be sad when they're over. Hey, Nathaniel. Hey, Kristen. How are you? It is good to see you all. I hope everybody has a great Christmas too. Here is the next letter. Says March 7th on a Wednesday. Dearest darling, the mailman failed me today, hun. Oh well, I really can't expect them to come through every day. I was a painter today. Hollard, I don't know, somebody's name, and myself painted the cabinets in a paper basket. We were kind of caught up, so we got a couple brushes, borrowed some green paint. Some of the fellows were using the paint to something building and really turned to JTLT letter is by far the something, I don't know what that means, is by far the best piece of painting done by anyone in this outfit. Just ask either one of us. Al, any rate, it made them look a lot better. I managed to get a letter off to Hazel tonight. She sent me an awful nice birthday card. She never forgets. I sure hate to think of Bobby having to go into the service, but he'll be 18 on April 1st, and they will probably take him before long. Probably sometime this summer. If he does go in, I kind of think he'll join the Merchant Marines. That's a good deal. They pay a lot. More and have good food and living quarters. Above all, they get to the States every 4 to 6 months. I'd sure give anything to see my honey now. Over 6 months already since I last saw you. It may not seem long to some people, but 6 months away from you is an awful long time for me. I can't seem to think of much more to say, hun. Seems like after you're in one place very long, nothing new ever happens that you can write about. Payday is tomorrow. If I get back from my run to the base, I think I'll draw $300 and send it home to you for the bank. Keep track of how much I send home to be banked, and after this war, we can spend it on our vacation. I think after 1 month in Oregon, we'll go down to Los Angeles for a few weeks. How about that? Sound pretty good? Well, Hump, that's her nickname. Guess I'll close now and do a little studying. I sure miss you, hon. Good night now. I love you, Bill. Yes, it was a long time. I remember my husband was in the Navy. He was supposed to be gone for 6 months, and it extended for 9. And that was forever. Well, great. Hey, Dirty Rotten. How are you doing, Rotten? Welcome, welcome in. Reading World War II letters. Oh, that is so sweet, Kristen. A beginner's acoustic. That's funny. My one granddaughter wants to play the guitar too. I think that's awesome. And you're welcome anytime. Here is the next letter. We're enjoying letters from William to Elsie. From World War II. Dearest honey, received your letter the 28th today. It was mailed on the 1st, so it came through in good time. I'm sure glad you like those pictures, Hump. I thought you would. They will be so nice to look at in about 10 years when this is all just a memory. Too bad Mac wasn't there to see them, as he'll probably come out here to one of these new advanced bases. He might get a ship, but I kind of think he will get a base. Dell will probably get a ship as everyone, especially new ship and bays, are hollering for chiefs. But the other will probably come out to Pearl for further assignment. I think I will have been stuck in this civilian affairs if I would have known shorthand. They really took a bunch of them the time I was coming. Time I was coming something. I'm plenty glad I didn't get that, and I did get this. I sure don't envy Mac going there. Those receiving stations, they put you on any kind of detail they want to. When I was there in Pearl awaiting assignment, I was a messenger for the 5/C or S/C along with 2AMM. It's got like a 1C. I don't know what that is. And if you guys can see that or not, it's real faint. How about that? I was lucky at that, as many of the boys had to dig ditches, etc. I have to look some of this stuff up because I do like learning about what they're talking about. Oh well, change it up to experience. I also received a letter from the folks today. Gertrude said there was some talk about Jimmy being transferred to either King City or Moffett Field. They said Jimmy preferred King City because of the close hunting and fishing there. Have you heard anything about it? I guess Annie will quit her job and go with him. If it was me, I wouldn't have it any other way. Gertrude also said Charlie Morrison is getting married. How about that? No one can ever say he was too old for this war. Gertrude said Ada is tired. I'll bet the lazy. The lazy. So quits before long. And so no. Alta is tired. I'll bet the lazy so-and-so quits before long. If she don't, they will probably fire her. And I wouldn't blame them. She's really useless. Oh, he's real nice. Well, honey, about all for now. Sure miss my little wife. Oh, well, time wears on. And the first thing you know, my time will be up and I'll be home. Happy days. Good night, sweet. I love you, hun. Bill. Sometimes his rating is like, what? I'm trying to read somebody else's rating sometimes. But at least the letters are in pretty good shape for as old as they are. Jack Russell. Well, that's cute. I know, my baby's getting older. My puppy's about to turn 7, and it's like, no, I don't want her going into seniors. They don't get to be with us long enough in my eyes. Our fur babies go too fast. Dearest honey, received your letter on the 7th of February today. That one was sure slow in getting here. You had 2 $3 stamps on it. $3 stamps. Or 3-cent stamps. Sorry. I was going to say $3. What? It was 3-cent stamps. Could you imagine 3 cents even for stamps? And the letter was marked airmail, but I kind of think they said it via plane mail. You asked how many is in my outfit, but censorship regulations say I can't tell you. It's small though, hun, and that's one thing that makes it so much better than these other outfits that are big. Everyone knows everyone, and it's better all the way around. Seems like the bigger an outfit is, the more fouled up it is. Just my opinion, but that's the way it seems to me. I think I'm going to get a chance to go out fishing this Sunday. Not spear fishing like Reed and I do every Sunday, but trolling for big ones. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. So nothing goes wrong. You know me and my fishing. Today was payday, so I drew all the money I had on the book, $349. I had 51 on me and 2 loaned, so I decided to draw it all, add the 51 I had, and send you $400 money orders to put away for our vacation when I get home and this war is ended. Now I'll tell you the funny part of it, sorry. I figured the $2 I had loaned would be enough for this month, but after I bought the money orders, I had to pay 88 cents for them and buy $1 worth of stamps. I sure figured it close anyway. I'm glad the money orders are getting on their way. Then I know I won't lose the money somewhere. I think I've done pretty good, but what helped a lot is I won $67 in 2 poker games right after I got here. So I've been living off that and not drawing any money. I drew 11 the first. Any money, let's see, wait a minute. I drew 11 the first payday and nothing since then. I don't even have time to play poker anymore, especially since I started studying shorthand. Well, honey, guess that's about all I know for tonight. Think maybe I'll drop Dave a line. I haven't heard from him in about 9 months, except for a Christmas card. I even forgot who it was who it was who wrote last. I'm ashamed of myself for not writing. We'll close now, hon. Until tomorrow night. Good night, sweet. I love you, Bill. P.S. Hon, how many pictures was in each set of those pictures you received? Oh, send me a picture. Oh, really? Freaking porn bots, go away. Wonder why they do that. That's crazy. I'm reporting them, so give me a second. Crazy. I feel like I'm back in Yahoo chat room. Seriously. These freaking porn bots are crazy. Okay. So next we have this one. This paper is pretty thick. It almost feels like it's soft like construction paper, but tougher. I don't know what kind of paper this is, but it's pretty cool. Dearest honey, no letter today, hump, but I did get a letter from Don. He sent me 5 little pictures, and I do mean little. Anyway, I do know what Don looks like. That was in the first set of letters, was him and his crew. Anyway, I was sure glad to get them. He didn't have much to say except it had been warmed down his way, around 130 degrees. Boy, I'm glad I don't get that warm up here. He did say that it was way cool in the evening, so they slept it all right. Don had about 11 months out now. He'll probably beat me home, the lucky cuss. I've been trying to get a box for that shell honey, but I still haven't found the right size. I found that Jap coin I lost before, so I'm going to enclose it and you can keep it. I also got a package of Jap cigarettes, so we'll send them home to you when I send my shell. I started that book, Brave Men, you sent me, Hump. I just haven't had time to read it, but I managed to read a couple of chapters the last couple days at lunchtime. It sure is a good book. I hate like the devil to lay it down, but I must keep going on this shorthand. I'm afraid if I knocked off for a few days, I wouldn't get back to it. That would be bad. So I'm sticking with it to the letter end, to the bitter end. God bless that man's soul. Shorthand to me looks like chicken scratch. This card I enclosed was printed by CB's and they gave us some, so thought I'd send you one. I thought it was kind of cute, don't you? Well, honey, I'm afraid I'm out of words. Sure is hard writing without a letter, but I guess you know I will close for now. Does it make sense? Oh, because he doesn't have anything to say. Okay, honey, until tomorrow night. Good night, sweet. I love you, Bill. I like his swirls. Look at his swirly writing. If you can see it. See how swirly that is? He writes pretty good for a male, I have to say. Doing pretty good. Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate that. Now, this looks like the writing paper our kids had in school. You remember these? That type of writing paper. Dearest honey, oh me, no mail again today. I don't know what I write about. Tomorrow is that lovely day, Sunday. The fishing trip is scheduled to leave around 0900 and return at 1500. 1500 hours in military time. I just added that in there. Sure hope we get a few fish, although the last fishing trip the officers went on wasn't very successful. They didn't get any fish and got hung up on a rock until 02:30 in the morning. They came back a little late, though, so that was the reason they got hung up. Anyway, we'll get them if there is to be gotten or something. Just heard over the radio that there will be fights Wednesday night, so we'll plan to go. They sound like they're going to be good. I hope so. Think maybe I'll take in the stage show tonight. They are having some sort of a stage show, so think I'll splurge as long as it's Saturday night. Remember Saturday nights, hun? We used to always hurry to get away from Vallejo. Good old days. How I want them back. Yes, sirree, hun. I really miss you. I'm afraid I'll just eat you up when I get good. That's how good you're going to look to me when I get home. Well, darling, we'll close now. Not much of a letter, but just nothing new. See you tomorrow night. In tomorrow night's letter, dear. I love you, Bill. That's so sweet. I love it. Sweetness. Thank you, Kyle. I will be safe. The only thing I got to do is finish up some shopping Friday. Oof. And I got to pick up a lunch meat tray because we celebrate our Christmas with our grandkids on Christmas Eve. So it will be fun. My hubby will be off for 11 days. So we'll have a long vacation coming to be able to take time to visit family over the holiday days. So the next one is, Dearest honey, received your letter of the 2nd today, hun. Sure good to hear from you again. I don't particularly think you should be working nights to make up for your days off. You've had less time off there for the amount of time you've been there than anyone else. If everyone turned out as much work as you do, I think they could lay off half the help and still get twice as much done. Well, the fishing trip went off as per schedule today. We all got wet. 4 of the fellows got seasick, not me. But I repeat, nobody got any fish. We just couldn't find them, or else they didn't like what we offered them. We tried trolling and lake fishing, and nobody even got a bite. Old Homer Reed thinks he got a lot of them, but actually, oh, here we go, fishing stories. It was me and another fellow hitting his rod and making him think it was bites. He still don't know, but it was bites, and he has told everyone we had some real big strikes. I'm afraid if and when he finds out, he will be mad. That's too funny. I hope not. Meantime, everyone is enjoying the joke. Well, darling, that's the whole day up. And now nothing else I can think of. Interest. I sure do miss my honey. Do you ever get tired of me telling you how much I miss you? I sure don't get tired of telling you. That's too cute. We'll close now, sweet. More tomorrow night. I love you, Bill. That's so sweet. I think he's sweet. Alrighty. You have a good Christmas too, Dirty. Thanks for coming in. I call my dog Rotten Roni when she's being rotten. She's all spunky with this cold weather, and I'll take her out to go potty, and she, like, when it snows, she's like Tigger. She jumps in it, bites her leash, and tries to lead me through the yard. She's so ornery. Next letter. This one had extra postage due. It must be a thick one. For 6 cents. Extra postage was 6 cents. Oh my. I like looking at prices back then too. It's too funny. Wonder what they would think about inflation. Dearest honey, no mail again today. We did get plenty of rain though. Sure make things messy, but not much worse than our little rainstorms back home in the winter, the kind you are probably having now. Tonight is the night for school. School days, dear old school days. It sure takes a long time to learn this damn stuff. Whoever invented shorthand ought to be shot. Sorry, that's hysterical. Oh, shoot. I don't blame you, dude. I'm still determined, though, and will learn it so it will help me. Gosh, I'm having an awful time trying to think of something to write about. Alex Holland, yeah, the Yes Striker, just bought me the Yes Striker or Stinker. I don't know what he said. Just brought me a letter from Hazel. Maybe she has some news in it. Wait a minute and she'll open up. Here it is then, hours later. Just as I started to open Hazel's letter, I found it was time for chow. Right after chow, I went to the naval base to attend that shorthand class, and I just got back. I know the class will help me a lot later on, but so far I don't think it's done too much. I think I have one friend from high school that knows how to do shorthand. Most of us hated it. We are supposed to finish the book by June, according to the educational officer by the yeoman, but it's teaching the class. Said he didn't know how we would do it. I don't either. The rain sure brings out the frogs. I never saw as many as I did today and tonight. Oh, Michelle Scott, he found frogs. She hates frogs. I'll bet I just ran over 50 today. Oh my gosh, he's killing frogs. You just can't miss them all. Too bad they aren't the kind to eat. Ugh, I couldn't eat a frog. That's gross. Well, I finally got Hazel's letter read, and she didn't say anything. Fact is, she never does. Always preaches to me a little, which I get a kick out of, and talk some about Bobby. He's getting some system if colored lights to show when the garage door is open or closed. Motion lights must be. He's getting a... Wait a minute. He's really a whiz at that type of stuff. There must be a big place in this world for his talent, providing he gets in to the right kind of work. Well, my darling, I think I'll get ready for the old sack. Sure wish you were here and I was there. Or I was there. Gosh, how I miss you, Hump. We'll close now, hun, until tomorrow night. Good night, sweet. I love you, Bill. Feel like I'm reading John Boy. How they always said the same good nights on the Waltons. This was a postage due 6 cents. Oh, this looks like it's got a heading type paper. Yes. United States Navy. I remember my husband used to write me letters, and he had that letter topping. Dearest honey, well, the old mailman finally came through today. Brought me some letters. 5 letters. 1 each from Jimmy and Lee, and 3 from you, dated the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. The old mail sure helps the morale. Don't know what I'd do without it. So, Lieutenant Kemp's gal is having a baby. That is a situation I wouldn't want to be in. I guess because his wife wouldn't give him a divorce, he didn't wait. I pity the poor baby. What makes you think Joyce is going to have a baby? I envy them if they do, as I don't think Jimmy will have to come out here anymore. I sure wish we had our family started, but at the same time, I'm glad we waited, as I want to be there. Good for him. When that Pierce family starts to growing. Don't you agree, hun? Severa moved up to Napa again. I just don't get it. Is John still at TI? If he is, I guess he'll go up more often now. They sure had a swell setup, but sure fouled it up. They would have a hell of a time getting me to have a setup like that. I love my honey too much to ever want to leave her, war or no war. That was sure a cute picture of Susie in the paper. She must be awful cute. That was close. That was a close shave with death to be comfortable. I'm enclosing the picture again, hun, so you can keep it. She can always say she had her picture on the front page. I hope you like your permanent, she must get a permanent hump. I guess you were really due for one. Putting it up every night is a nuisance. How will I remember? How well I remember. Well, Humpty, what's he call her? Humpty Dilly. I guess that's about all for now. Think I'll drop a line to Jimmy and Ann. Jimmy says their school is getting to be alive. Hardly no students. I hope They don't send him out, but I'm afraid they will. He's been on shore duty for over 2.5 years. We'll close for now until tomorrow night. Good night, hun. I love you, Bill. P.S. Sure miss you, hun. Sure miss my honey. That is a sweet letter. All his letters are good, though. He's funny. I like his persona. Hey, Nikki. Hey, Mark. Yes, it is late. And thank you. You have a Merry Christmas, too, and Happy New Year. Ditto. And hey, sweet Nikki. Oh, my gosh, you poor girl. I seen the one post real quick. I was wrapping presents and I was trying to listen and catch up on some stuff, and I seen where you said your kids were sick. You poor girl. That's horrible. But I know what that's like. Seems like since COVID, my grandkids back to school and they keep picking up every single germ. Like they went through the flu and everything else since they've been back to school. Isn't that horrible? It's like you want your kids to socialize at the same time. You kind of wish you could homeschool because you don't want them getting sick all the time. I remember those days. One of us getting sick in the household and the whole household getting sick. It's horrible. Oh, that's sad. And then that wears you out too. I can say one thing. I don't miss it. I don't know. I don't know if I could have made it. I have to give kudos to you moms now. I don't know if I could have made it back then. One of my kids were little going through all this stuff. It was bad enough having the flu and I know, so they could enjoy their Christmas. That's sad. I hope so too, Nikki, because I know. Wears you out. You're quite welcome anytime. You know, I remember when I was in school, they used to have pizza on Fridays. And I don't know if it's because it sat out or what, but I felt like every time they had pizza, I'd be throwing up in the hallway. Like their pizza disagreed with me and I quit eating it. I hated that. But my favorite food that I remember in school was when they had cream of chicken over biscuits. They would they put a biscuit on your plate, put mashed potatoes and cream of biscuits. That had to be my favorite lunch of all time. That's crazy. So here is the next letter. Another naval paper. I love this naval heading. This was March 15th, 1945 on a Thursday. Dearest darling, luck was with me today. Received your letters of the 6th and the 7th. You had forgotten to put the box number in the envelope and they didn't get to me yesterday. So Joyce is going to have a baby. Jimmy is a fast worker, and with Joyce living with Connie, opportunities galore. Every time I think of that low down, so it makes me sick. To think she used to be your friend, or more or less, mostly more, was the cause of our having a little trouble. Remember, anyway, I hope the marriage turns out to be a successful one, but usually those kind don't. The Marine that's going to marry Connie, if she's telling the truth, must be pretty hard up to marry her. So the new skipper was the CEO of San Francisco. I'll bet there will be some jumping around there. Have you found out when he's coming out and his name is? So give me the word. Now, I remember when these two dated, there was a letter one time where they had split up before they got married. So he's saying that she caused some of that trouble, and I really hate that because I talk about that all the time. It's like, how many times have you been in high school or in life where you see happy couples and people try to split them up because they're evil, that evil out there, But it's like some people just get jealous when they see two people happy because like they envy, so they cause problems. And I think that's horrible of people to do. I don't know why people can't just rejoice when they see that kind of stuff. instead of be jealous of it. I think that's crazy. But it sounds like that's what happened to them. Like they're, because he never really said in the letters what caused the problems until now. So she must have caused the rift between them, and that's sad. If so, give me the word. Wow, that was some news about. I'm really going to miss these two when these letters are over. I really am, because I've had so much fun reading them. Norwell, if that so-and-so had ever laid a hand on you, I'd break him into 10 pieces. That goes for anyone, but I'm sure I don't have any worry with my little honey, do I? Question. They ought to ship him on some ammunition ship right out to the battlefront where he can make up for some of his underhanded tricks. I can imagine what Boyle's thought told him. That must be some personal office with Bulls in charge and a wave assistant. I think the NAD is slipping. Say, Hump, who took Dell's place over at the barracks? Is there any white men left in the personnel office? Let me know. Also try and find out where Mac, Dell, and some of the others have gone. I wouldn't doubt, but that some of them end out here on this rock. Well, Hum, guess that's all for tonight. Miss you awful, Hum. Guess I got it awful bad. Good night, sweets. I love you, Bill. These letters are so special. They're special. Penguin Boss! There's Lily and Tracy. And where's Pretty Corn? She's the rotten one. Pretty's the rotten girl. She's the naughty girl. She's funny, though. Did you all go on vacation? Did you have a good time? I hope you all have a good Christmas and Happy New Year. Here's the next one. Penguin Boss is from Whatnot. That's where I met her. And they have some incredible stuff over there, like really cool postcards and all that. So if you see my Sunny Fun Time mails from Penguin Boss, that's where you go. And don't come in and shop for the same stuff I do, because then you'll give me competition. I want you want to recommend a channel, but then you're afraid to, because then you're afraid people will come and buy the stuff you want. You ever notice that? There's been a couple streams I've been on over and Whatnot now since I've been promoting the channel's pin, and I put in my bids, and they chase me to make me push higher. That's why I don't like to tell people what I'm looking for, because every time I do, they try to compete with me in price. The brats. Well, thank you, Treasure. I love these letters. They are awesome. They have really these letters were something. I don't, the thing that I don't know, when the locker was bought, these came out of a locker. Because some people buy up lockers and resell stuff. I'm wondering if there was photo albums in this that I missed. But I'm glad I got the letters, but I have a feeling that there probably was. So that's where all the pictures out of the letters went. But there's only been 2 pictures I found so far. But I would have loved to have had their photo album too. I just want to know if they had kids, they had grandkids, like I looked up the couple out of California, but I couldn't find anything. So, but I did try. Sometimes you can track them down, sometimes you can't. Like her address was Mrs. Elsie Pierce, 1036 Main Street, Vallejo, California. And I did find an Elsie and William, but they weren't there. It wasn't the correct ages. So it wasn't the same people. There was a obituary for Elsie, but it wasn't her because the time period and stuff wasn't right. But it was like, oh, there's been a couple different addresses that I've tried to look up, but I couldn't find out nothing. But I just think it'd be cool to find out how their life went. I have their letters from when they dated in the military to when they got married. That's as far as I got so far. And as I'm reading these, you're hearing them. I'm hearing them for the first time with you all because I didn't read these ahead of time. So just so you know. So everything that I'm reading, I'm hearing and I love it. So that's why I have a hard struggle with the letters too, because sometimes I can't read what he writes. And sometimes I can. It just depends on how clear he writes. But I can tell he writes sideways sometimes because it's you just got to look at the letters because sometimes they're real swirly. And then like this one here looks clearer. So it looks like he wrote this at a desk or something. It says, "Dearest darling, I just have a half an hour before the lights go out. Lights go out at 2200. Now, I looked this up. Revel isn't until 0600. I think that's the bugle call. Lots better. I went to the lights tonight and just came back, and they were pretty good. But my favorite last. Wait a minute. Lights went out and just came back. They were pretty good. But my favorite lost. Fights, sorry. I said lights. He didn't finish his F. He went to the fights tonight and just came back. They were pretty good, but his favorite one lost. Well, guess you can't win all the time. They gave out the awards for the fellows that won the championships in the fights about 3 weeks ago. The island champions are going to Oahu as a team. Pretty nice. Oahu must be somewhere in Hawaii, maybe. Oahu, I don't know. No mail tonight. I guess I got my ration for the week. Yesterday mail is wonderful. Think a minute. What? No mail tonight. I guess I got my ration for the week. Yesterday mail is wonderful. But if you don't get any, it's a terrible thing. I don't know. It looks like he says is a wonderful think. But you don't, if you don't get anything, that's a terrible thing. It's a wonderful thing, not think. He's got the word think. Oh, it's just a misspelling. Nothing else now, hun. Just my dreams of when I get home to you and that vacation we're going to take. I wonder just how long it will keep. Keep your fingers crossed. That won't be too awful long. We'll close now, hump, and get the old sack ready to climb in. I guess it's going to seem awful strange sleeping in a spring bed again. When this war is over, it will be so soft in comparison with this cot of mine that I won't be able to sleep for the first few nights. That don't worry me too much. How about you? Good night, sweet. I love you, Bill. Yeah, his letters are really fun. I like them, even if I can't read some of them. Okay. He's excused for his misspellings. He's in the middle of a war. Okay. Dearest honey, no mail today, hun. Darn the mailman. They have finished our recreation building. It's a large quinset hut Quinset. I don't know, something like that, with a cement deck. They have a basketball court set up in it, and the boys started to play tonight for the first time. I'm kind of anxious to play myself. Guess it's been about 6 years since I played any basketball. I know darn well the exercise will do me good. We also have softball diamond fixed up. It's fun as long as it don't rain. All we lack is a golf course. I would really hit my stride then, but probably never get any studying done. That's something that you won't want to miss, hon. The finished game, no, the first game of golf Dawn and I have together after this war will probably end up by throwing the clubs away. The boys say there is a good show on tonight, so I think I'll go. It's been quite a while since I went to one. The picture is Greenwich Village with Don Amici, something like that, and some others. Sounds like it might be good, but they leave Amici out for all I care. He must not like him. Well, darling, nothing else I can think of. Sure do miss you. That's all of us think about is when we can go home to our honeys. We'll close now, sweet, until tomorrow night. I love you, Bill. I just like the respect he shows her, you know. You just don't see letters like this between people anymore, and it's really sad. Here is the next one. Oh, what did that have in it? There was a bobby pin in it. Okay. Look, you can see the marks of the bobby pin on the letter. Was that put there purposely or accidentally? I don't know. Dearest honey, did a lot better today. Received your letter of the 8th in the bank paper and very beautiful birthday card. The card was waylaid somewhere along the line, but I'm sure happy it finally arrived. It is really a beauty, hun. I'm glad you enjoyed your dinner party with the girls, hun. The dinner really sounded good, even the drink. Remember when we used to go play the concessions, hun? Hump. We played them as much as at Santa Cruz on our vacations that I really didn't think I ever wanted to play them again. Now I wouldn't mind betting a slot machine around for a while. Remember the way Don used to hold his mouth when he was playing them? It says month, but he messed up. He used to get kind of mad when we mentioned it. I know a guy used to fix things with his tongue hanging out. He really played as though he were making $1 million. Good old Don. The war news sounds pretty good here lately. Wonder what Russia will do when it's time for the peace pact with Japan to be renewed. I'm sorry. Sure hope they come with us, as it will shorten the war. Don't you agree, hun? Well, sweet and lovely. Guess that's about it for tonight. Tomorrow's Sunday, but Reed hurt his foot, so I guess he won't do any spearfishing tomorrow. Maybe I'll play a little basketball and catch up on my writing. Wish I were home and we were going on a picnic. Gosh, the days of picnics. I love picnics. My dream would be to take a horseback, just go horseback riding into the woods and have a nice picnic by a stream somewhere where it's nice and you can hear the water. That would be me. Oh, me, how I miss my honey. We'll close now. Sweet until tomorrow night. Good night now. I love you, Bill. Didn't say anything about this being in there. But we're going to stick that bobby pin back in there. Okay. He's back. Welcome back, Metro. as we open the next letter, if I get it open. Some of these pages have been bent so long, it's hard to get them open in the creases. Look, it's like kind of like unrolling paper. It's been rolled up forever. Dearest honey, no mail today from you, but really didn't expect any because it's Sunday. Very seldom get any mail on Sundays. I did get a letter from Don, though. He didn't have much new to say, but again mentioned that his mail was coming through very slow. Said he had received only 4 letters from Dottie in a month. Nothing can get a man down more than not to receive any mail. That's so sweet. Shot baskets for a while this morning, and then Reed and I took some pictures. We get some of the office and nice hard ab work. Sure hope they turn out when and if we ever get them developed. This afternoon, I weakened and finally went swimming. Reed didn't get in, so I went by myself. Did pretty good. Speared 8 fish and hit another that got away. Setting pretty sharp hump. After dinner tonight, I went to the show. They had a stage show on, and it was the best I've seen for a long time. It was an Army Special Service group here on the island, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't stay for the picture as I had to get back and drop my honey a line. Too bad this isn't in the rocket age and I could jump in my rocket and fly home after work. What a dream. Oh, well, that's what we all do out here. Guess that about takes in my Sunday, hun. Nothing else new. So we'll close now until tomorrow night. Good night, my sweet. Love you, Bill. P.S. Sure miss my honey. That's so sweet. You're welcome, Metro. It's nice to see sweet letters. It just really is. Nothing like these naughty text messages from some of these mails nowadays. I love this kind of stuff. Look at that airmail. This is so sweet. Okay, where does this open? Oh, it's stuck. Well, I'm sure she had it open at one point. Yeah, there it goes. Look at that age. Those age marks. Okay, this was March 19th on a Monday in 1945. Hi, hun. Mailman failed me again today. I'm about due to get 3 or 4, so kind of expect them tomorrow or the next day. We'll see how close I come to my guess. Tonight is the shorthand class again. I'll leave about 18:15 and get back about 20:30. It's quite a little ride down to where the class is being held. I'm getting along okay, but it don't seem fast enough to me. Sure wish I had turned to when you wanted me to, hun. Guess I'm not too sorry, so each moment we spent together is very precious to me. They were out fishing yesterday in the boat, but didn't even get a bite. They did see a lot of fish in one school, but couldn't get them to strike. This coming Saturday, Reed and me are going swimming in the afternoon after the fishing is secured on the line and spear some fish. We are going to use the fish we spear for bait to try to catch some tuna Sunday. We are going to try and get the rowboat and go out by ourselves. I really think we can get some anyway. It will be fun trying. Well, Humptedilly's what he called her. Hump for short. Humptedilly. That's a cute saying. Guess that's all about it for now. Sure do miss you. See you in tomorrow's letter. Good night, sweet. I love you, Bill. Humptedilly, huh? I heard Humpty Dumpty, but Humptedilly, that's new. Next letter. Dearest honey, no letter today. No letter today. And he drew something. Isn't that the way the song goes? Looks like an F and an I. I don't know. He drew something right there. Oh, well, tomorrow, wonderful tomorrow. Maybe it will bring me some mail. We'll see. Been awful windy here lately and quite a bit of rain, but it never gets cold. We never have any fog here neither, and at least we haven't had any so far. Yesterday I went up on the hill to the something to pick up some papers we were supposed to have there. The captain said he had made arrangements for a box at the AATC for notices, etc., and I was supposed to pick them up every so often. Anyway, I had quite a time trying to find the place. I finally ended up in an office I was quite sure was the right place. They didn't have any box for AATC. After talking to about 3 guys, I convinced them I was supposed to have a box there, so they said they would put one there for us. When I got back to my base, I told the captain that they didn't have a box for us, but I had convinced them that he had made arrangements for one, so they were putting one in. About that time, we discovered I had been in the wrong office and that we had a box in another office I hadn't gone to. I verified that today. The whole moral of the story, if you think you're right, you can convince others that you are. You can get what you want. Yes, I'll admit my face turned a little red, but it was a good thing. Done even if it was done in error. Outside of that little, that's too funny, incident, nothing out of the ordinary has happened. I just go on missing my honey day and night and hoping this rotten war will soon end and I can get home to her. Guess that's all for tonight, sweet. See you tomorrow in tomorrow's letter. Good night, darling. I love you, Bill. Isn't that so cute, though? And he wrote her a message in shorthand, people, and don't ask me to read that chicken scratch because I have no clue. But he's still practicing. That's so funny. All right, Metro. Thanks for coming, and you have a good evening. Take care. And the next letter. If anything, I can put people to sleep too, and come in here and listen to me read and fall asleep. Another airmail. I love this navy heading. That is so cool looking. I don't know if this camera appears blurrier. My downstairs camera is better. This is a Wednesday, March 21st, 1845. Dearest honey, I did just a little better today. Received a letter from Lee, but still none from my honey. Maybe tomorrow. I hope Lee didn't have, let's see. Hope Lee didn't have much. I hope. Hope maybe tomorrow. I hope. Okay. Lee didn't have much to say. Okay. They all miss us and wish that you could get out, but realized what you're up against. It's going to be swell when we can live in Oakland after the war and all of our friends at least once a week and see Oakland. That's definitely California too. That is my dream of heaven. Hope it's not long before that dream can come true. Seems like that's what most of us think about when we get home. Tonight was beer night. I had 3 cans and felt them. I'm going to be afraid to take a drink when I get home. A couple and I would be under the table. That sounds like me. I'd be the cheap date right now. I remember the day though. Gosh, hun, there just isn't anything to talk about. I sure miss my honey something awful. I think of you all the time, day and night. I know I'm going to eat you up when I see you, hump. Are you afraid? Question. Well, hun, guess I'll close her now. We'll write tomorrow night. Good night, sweet. I love you, Bill. P.S. Enclosed is the best we have on this rock hump. Buy yourself a real nice Easter bonnet or dress and think of me. Aw. He must have sent her shopping money. D! How come you're not moderator? You should have been a moderator on my channel forever. There's my sweet D. D has been my longest subscriber. He's one of my lifetime ones. He's one of the first people that found my channel on YouTube. He's such a sweetheart. It is good to see you in here. These letters are stuck together. You can tell where they were ripped open, but I got to be real careful reopening. You know how that sticky glue gets. And I will tell you, if you find letters, like when you're out, say like you're out thrifting and you find cards, or I don't know if this has happened to you, but it's happened in my house where I have bought a box of cards and all the envelopes, the glue stuck and it ruined the envelopes because you couldn't get them open. You can also turn those into crafts. You can take I have a thumb one that you can cut like a hole and open them downwards and make those into fun pockets for junk journals. I've done that before. I know that there's some people that use steam to open them, but sometimes they just don't open. They're way too stuck. Okay. This one was from March 22nd, 1945 on a Thursday. I'm reading Navy letters from World War II, D, and I love them. Dearest honey, hooray, I got 2 letters from you today, hun. One was dated the 14th and the other was a question mark in place of the date. I think it was written on the 13th though. So Steve's wife is getting a divorce from him. They have some children, don't they? Seems like a shame to end up like that after 10 years of married life. Was Steve playing around? Question. I'm glad you got that $400, hun. I didn't mean for you to put it in a separate account though. I think that's kind of silly. What I meant was for you to keep track of what I send you. If you have already done it, leave it be. But if you haven't, just put it in the other savings account. By the way, hun, how much do we have in the bank now? Also, how is your checking account working out? Let me in on the know, darling. I'm glad you clarified that. Statement about Susie. You worry me when you say things like that. So Dottie has a 25-day leave coming up. They don't even give that much time to some of the fellows that have been overseas 18 months. It's even more than I've had since I've been in. I sure hope you two get together a little while, anyways. I'm glad you received all 20 pictures of each set. Some of the boys said their wives had only received 12. I also received a letter from Hazel and an Easter card from Lou. Lee said she knows 11, let's see, Elvin. Lee said she knows somebody is in the task force 58, so I guess he's seeing plenty of action. Sure would be swell if he got by here and could stop and see me. Could be. Well, darling, guess that's all for now. I miss you awful, hun. Good night, sweet. I love you, Bill. You have been. You've been spying on my channel, Dave. You're too funny. I know. I love this kind of stuff. This is so cool. This one is a little more stuck, so hold on. Want to be gentle. All right. We're almost done with the third pile, and we only have one more, and then the letters are over, and I'm going to boo-hoo for a while because I'm really going to miss these two. Dear honey, guess I'm in that rut again. At least the mailman failed me again. I'm getting so... The first thing I do is smell your letters. They really smell nice. I just got through dropping a line to Lorraine on the back of an Easter card. I've owed her a letter for a month and a half and thought that would be a good way of answering her. It still makes me mad to think of the draft dodging husband of hers still and civilian still a civilian. It's a good thing there's not many like him, or it would have been too bad for the war effort. It's kind of nice out tonight. The sun is shining, almost ready to disappear. It's been awful windy and rainy here lately. It's feeling pretty good to have it calm for a change. I hope it stays this way because Reed and I are going out tomorrow afternoon and try to spear some fish for use as bait Sunday. I would sure like to tie into a good sized fish, and I know there are some out there. Well, hun, can't seem to think of much more to say. After I finished your letter last night, I decided to go to the show. It was a good picture. Life of Mark Twain. Now that sounds interesting. With Frederick March. I enjoyed it a lot, but when I got back, it was late to study, so I'm going to have to turn into something to tonight. We'll close now, sweet. So good night, hun. I love you, Bill. P.S. Oh, how I miss my honey. He misses his honey. He sounded tired in that letter. Next, all I can say is I've been really blessed with these letters, and I do not take that for granted because I have never had so many letters, correspondence between two people like this. This was a nice find. I was in the right place, right auction at the right time is all I have to say. Dearest honey, it was the mailman this morning. I was the mailman this morning. And I might say I did pretty good. Yeah, 3 letters from my honey dated the 10th, 11th, and 12th. It was sure good to get them. Nothing I enjoy more than to hear from my honey. I'm sorry you didn't feel well, Hump, after your dinner party with the girls. Sure, it was no hangover question. Right now, I'd probably get a hangover from one drink. I guess I really spoiled you, hun. Made you a sleepyhead, sleeping from after dinner until 12:30. Wait till I get home. You'll really get some sleep. I guess that was a nice threat. About 15:15, I knocked off, and Reed and I went spearfishing. We managed to get about 15 fish, I think. We both had a little trouble with our spears, and I think we could have gotten more if we didn't have the trouble. Anyway, we have enough for bait for tomorrow. I sure hope we get some tuna tomorrow. We're all set for it anyway. Tonight I went to the show and saw Lana or Lara. It was a good detective story with Gene Tierney and Dana somebody with an A. I kind of missed out on my studying tonight. I like these shows that he talks about too, but I think I can afford to miss once in a while, at least when there is a good picture on. Well, darling, guess that's about all for tonight. I've been hovering for them to keep the lights on, but I'm losing the battle, so we'll have to close. Good night, sweet. I love you, Bill. P.S. Gosh, how I miss my honey. We're getting closer to the bottom of the pile. It's got a good 2-hour read every Wednesday for the amount that I get in each stack. Hello, honey. Well, here it is, Sunday afternoon, and how I wish I were with you out fishing. Our fishing trip didn't come to pass today after all our preparations. Someone leak. Someone beat us to the little boat. And the big boat, his T's are like so hard to read. They look like L's. And the big boat didn't go out on a fishing party. Reed and I were both disappointed, but that's the way it goes. Maybe we'll do it some other Sunday. Anyway, we went out and did more spear fishing this morning, since we never get enough of it. After the swim, I had chow, in parentheses steak, and came in to lay down and read my book. I was doing pretty good, but the weather was warm, and the first thing you know, I was asleep. Guess I slept until about 15:35. I felt like heck when I woke up, so I took a shower and decided to rate my honey early. Beer might, so I just got my 2 cans. Sure tastes good. I've been thirsty for it today, especially after that swim. Well, me darling, guess that's about all. Well, me darling, I guess that's about all for now. Some fights tonight, so maybe I'll take it in if there is enough interest to get transportation. I'll let you know if I go. We'll close now, honey, until tomorrow night. Bye for now, sweet. I love you, Bill. P.S. Gosh, hun, but I miss you. I like his P.S.'s. They're so cute. They get to go to live fights, live shows. Those were the days. None of this digital stuff. Everything was real. Got another one stuck together, so give me a second. Yeah, oh, come on, don't be nice. Be nice. Because I don't want to rip. There we go. Next. Dearest honey, received your letter of the 18th and the short one you wrote on the morning of the 19th. There's nothing like mail, hun. Sure helps the morale. I'm glad you enjoyed your week and with the folks. Remember the time we took a ride to San Rafael after our picnic in Frisco? That was the day you pulled that tee on me. How could you forget? I never let you. So Gertrude had her eye on some property in the Oakland Hills, but was too late. If they do buy a home somewhere else, I guess Jimmy will fall heir to the other house if anyone does. They had better not let Lorraine and Bob have it. That would be the end. Then again, maybe they will rent it or sell it and nobody will get it. Oh well, the hell with it. Gertrude is raising Cain about Pop buying Jimmy's share in a duck club. That happens every year, no matter what Dad has tried to give us, and that hasn't been too much. She always raises Cain. She's just scared to death. She isn't going to get everything. What a woman. You say the others are ahead of us. As far as I'm concerned, Bob and Lorraine will never catch up to us. We've had more happiness together than they will ever have. Don't forget, Hump, money isn't everything, not by a long shot. That dinner at Beneto's sure sounded good, hun. Good old Pop has made the boys at the club pay for quite a number of meals at Veneto's. Veneto's, Venetos. That looks interesting to look up. Wish I could play cards as good as him. I could really make the dough out here. You know what? Hold on. I want to look this up real quick. Veneto's in California. Interesting. It is Via Veneto. It's Italian restaurant. I don't know if that's what it was back in the 1940s. In Pizzeria, Oceanside, California. Very interesting. I've never been to California, so that's fun. Okay. That would be interesting, though, if it was still there. Wish I could play cards as good as him. I could really make the dough out here. The fights were good last night. They had 10 matches, and some of them turned out to be honeys. They were all good. That doesn't sound right. But okay. It looks like honeys. Okay. If he says so. Tonight is the night for school. I'll leave right after chow and won't get back till around 20:30. It's quite a little ride down there and back, so it takes a while. Well, my lovely darling, guess I'll close now. Miss you more and more every day. So much it hurts. Good night, sweet. I love you, Bill. Sweetness. Sandy, did I put you to sleep yet? My sassy Sandy's not feeling good. We're down to the last 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 letters left, people. And this batch will be done. Not that I won't mourn, because I will. Sassy Sandy waited all year to hear these. Next. Dearest Honey received the folks' birthday gift today. It was real nice pair of swimming fins. I've tried them before and they work good, but they aren't very practical for spearfishing. Don't tell the folks that because they would be disappointed. The water isn't deep enough and there is no cover for the heels of your feet. We walk around most of the time and I wear a pair of moccasins to guard my feet from the coral. That coral is really sharp and can cut up pretty bad if you don't watch your step. Reed and I always get 2 or 3 scratches while we're in the water, but none of them ever amount to anything. No letters from you today. I just sneaked off to the show and saw And the Angels Sing with Dorothy Lamour, Betty Hutton, and Fred McMurray. It was really good. There's not much more to say tonight, darling. Nothing new at all to talk about. I sure miss you, Hump. Miss you, miss you, miss you. Good night, sweet. I love you, Bill. Next, we have Dearest Honey, no letter today from you, hun, but I did get one from Hazel and one from Lou. Hazel didn't have much to say except she had heard from you and was going to write. It's going to be awful tough on her and I when Bob has to go in the service. She's awful lonesome now. The last time she wrote, she told me about Jimmy and Ann coming over for a visit, and it sure made her happy. Lou said she had heard from Elwyn. It looked like 11 in that one letter, Elwyn. Finally, she met a lady 2 blocks up the street from her, and her son is on the same ship Ella's on. She knew where the ship was and told her quite a bit. Lou was really thrilled. Lily, we have a Lily in here. Hasn't been feeling very good. Seems she was taking some kind of shots from a doctor and it more or less poisoned her system. She broke out in a rash. So went to her regular doctor and he has her on a diet now. Hope she gets well soon. Well, that's terrible. Terrible news. I just slipped off again and went up to see a stage show. They had a very good Army orchestra that plays on the radio here on the island. It was very good, and I just got back. Had to finish my honey's letter and study a little before the lights went out. Guess that's about all there is for tonight, sweet. Kind of think I'll get some letters from you tomorrow. Sure, hope so. We'll close now until tomorrow night. Good night, my darling. I love you, Bill. Sweet. So sweet. But I hope that Lily came through. That's terrible. We're going through them fast now, people. Dearest Honey, received 2 letters from my honey today. Nothing more I enjoy than to hear from the sweetest wife in the world. Isn't that awesome? Ah, that's so respectful. I love it. Your letters were dated the 15th and 20th. That little joke you sent me was pretty good, Hump. From the Something View. I haven't seen anything real like that since the night of the 20th of August, a little more than 7 months ago. Incidentally, hun, I hope you're not sending anybody else any little jokes like that. You had better not. It must have been ornery. By the way, who dolled that noise of the dog up? I'm glad your time is passing fast, hun. Mine is still going pretty fast too. So time in mounting. The busier one is, the better it is. I'm sure looking forward to the day when we can be together again. How I miss you, hun. Sounds like that cake was really good, hun. My little wife is always the best cook there was. I'm afraid I'll never want to go to a restaurant again. I will for you, though. I also received a birthday package from Lou and the gang today. It had candy bars, mints, cookies, razors, shaving cream, shaving lotion, powder, and 3 bars of soap. It was certainly a nice gift. They were really swell friends. Well, I finally got a picture, hun. Holland's friend took them and got them developed. That's Holland, a yeoman stalker in parentheses, and myself holding a Jap flag. We are right in front of our Quinset Hut barracks. Don't tell me I look like hell because I know it. We have a coral something where the fellow was standing that took the picture, so it was real bright, and you know how I squint my eyes. Yes, my hair is short, but that's the only way to have it out here. Anyway, it's a picture of you. I know I'm still in pretty good shape. I have 2 prints of the picture, so I'm going to send the other one to Lou and the gang. You can show the picture to the folks, Jimmy and Hazel. I didn't get the negatives, but this fellow said he was going to give me a full set as soon as his wife has them made and sent back out here. Well, darling, guess that's about all for now. When are you going to send me some more pictures? I'm waiting patiently for some more tomorrow night. Good night, sweet. I love you, Bill. I don't have no extra details on the joke, D. He didn't say no more. Must have been a naughty one for back in that day. That's too funny. And the next letter says, Dearest honey, did a little better today. Received your letter of the 22nd and one from the folks dated the 25th. Are you still writing me every night? Seems like I'm missing quite a few here lately. At any rate, I'm blaming on the mail and think I will get the back mail one of these days soon. Pop wrote a little note at the end in the letter and mentioned something to the effect that he bought a duck club. I remember you mentioning something about it, but I thought it was just for the coming season. He said he plans to build a house on part of the land. Dad said that Gertrude had probably told me about it, and that's all he said. She probably forgot on purpose. Find out what the deal is and let me know, hun. I'm glad you gained a little weight, hun. I want my honey to be good and healthy when I get home. You have something when you said you'll have something to fall back on. We had an inspection today. White hats and clean, is it dungarees or whatever they called them back then? Nothing but class. Haha. I still have a couple reports to get out. First of the month stuff. Tomorrow being the first, but also being Sunday, I don't know whether I'll have to get them out or not. If not, I will have to be done the first thing Monday. Well, darling, can't think of anything else to say. Sure miss you something awful. Dream of you all the time, day and night. Good night, sweet. I love you, Bill. This is so sweet. I just love these letters. I can't help it. They are just so adorable. And the last one for tonight. It's like, boo-hoo. This is March 30th, 1945 on a Friday. Dearest honey, time for our little evening chat, hun, but not much to say. No letters tonight from the mail. End of the month tomorrow and 1st of April Sunday. Guess I'll be plenty busy for the next few days. Oh well, if we'll make the time pass fast. Reed is getting one of his rolls of film developed. I hope it turns out and maybe I can send another couple of pictures home. I'm kind of leery, though, as he was having some trouble with the camera when he took the first few rolls. We'll see in the next few days. Did you imagine if they had digital cameras back then? That's crazy. Tomorrow we're having a personal inspection. I know one thing. My hair isn't too long. Hun, what would you say if I had my hair cut that short when I came home? Don't worry. I won't, but I was wondering what you would say. I remember you used to always be after me to not let a barber cut it short. Well, Hump, guess that's about all for now. When are you going to tell me about that dream you had of me? I've had plenty of you, but can't tell you about them. They have out this way. They have censoring out this way, so he is thinking naughty D. We'll close now, darling, until tomorrow night. Good night, my sweet. I love and miss you awful, Bill. So that is the last one. He's doing it for censorship and out of respect, D. That's so sweet. And that is this pile of letters. And now we only got one more set left. But I'm so glad she kept these. I just wish I had her set of letters to go along with his and their pictures. I would have loved that. And the last pile, people, this is it. The last pile, and it's shorter, it looks like, than most of them. A little bit shorter. That's the last set. And we have read them all. So this will be continued next Wednesday. So I got to finish. And then we will be done with our William and Elsie, which really sad because I really, really like this couple. So I hope everybody has a wonderful Christmas and all that good stuff. And whatever time zone you're in, I hope you're having a great one, and I will see you soon. Mwah. Thanks for coming in and enjoying this with me because I really enjoy this.